Awesome. Yeah. So the reason why this episode is so valuable is because we're going to talk about how fees are changing, and what you're going to notice is a lot of the fees are actually going up. So fees are increasing, which is why if you guys are interested in filing for trademark protection, now is the time to do it. You should do it this year before fees increase into 2021. All right, let's go through it. Let's break it down. We're going to go through all the fee increases. Before we do that, I just want to show you guys where you can find this information in case you lose track of the video or not sure how to find it. I'm going to show you guys how you guys can find it. It's really, really simple. All you want to do is you're going to want to go to uspto.gov, and then you're going to want to search for fees. So if you go to uspto.gov and then search for fees, I already entered in the search term bar. And here we go. So current USPTO fee schedule. And when you click on this, you're going to see that this is effective October 2nd, 2020. And if you scroll down, you'll see here important notices. So they're already trying to notify everybody, hey, you guys, look out, fees are increasing. We scroll down, we can see here that here's the final rule. So effective January 2nd, 2021, here's a summary of all the fee increases. So let's jump right in. We're going to go through each and every one of them. So the very first fee is the filing fee. So the trademark office filing fees are actually increasing both for TS standard and for TS plus. So the TS standard fee is actually going up from $275 to $350. So starting January 2nd, 2021, if you want to file a TS standard application, it's going to cost you $350 per class instead of $275. So it's a $75 increase. Fairly significant if you're filing a lot of trademarks. So you're definitely going to want to get your trademarks on file before January 2nd, 2021. If you're thinking about it, just file it now. So that's the TS standard. The TS plus is also increasing, going up by 25. So it was 225. It is 225 until January 2nd. Then it's going to shoot up to 250. So again, increasing by $25. Now, what's interesting is the next fee is actually a decrease. This is the only decrease that I could identify. I don't know if you guys can see that text, but basically it's saying that failing to meet TS plus standards are actually going to go down by 25. So it's going to go down from 125 to 100. Now, why is that significant? Well, I think that fundamentally what the trademark office is trying to get us to do is that they're trying to push us towards filing using TS plus. Now, why is that? Well, it's because the identification of goods is clear cut. We're basically selecting the classification from the ID manual. And so for that reason, it's less work for the examiners because they know that since you're using their canned descriptions, there's less identification analysis that's required on their part. So they're trying to create incentives for us practitioners and for the public to file using the TS plus method. Now, why do I say that? Well, basically what's going on is that if you do the math, the failure to file is $100. If you add the filing fee for the TS plus, which is $125, what will be $250, 100 plus 250 is $350, and $350 is going to be the filing fee for the TS standard. So essentially what that means is the equivalent cost of filing a TS standard at the outset is the same as filing a TS plus, and then having to craft your own description for failure to meet the standard and pay an extra $100. Great. Let's move on to the next set of fees. So now we're going to talk about renewal fees. So renewal fees, Section A renewal fees are going up. Basically, Section A renewal is what you file between the 5th and 6th year after registration. Those fees are going up from $125 to $225. So they're increasing by $100. Now, think about it. This is quite a bit, especially if you have applications that have multiple classes, right? So this is $125 per class. So it's a $100 increase. So again, the big takeaway here, if you have applications that are within the 5th and 6th year window, you should file those renewals now. Don't wait until after January 2nd because you're going to be spending a lot more money. You're going to be spending an extra $100 per class. Now think about it. If you have applications with 2 or 3 classes, you could have spent that money on filing a whole new trademark application, but instead you blew it on renewal fees. So keep that in mind. So here we have one of the new fees. So there's actually a new fee. So if you file the Section A renewal starting after January 2nd, 2021, and you have to amend or delete a good or service. So for example, you file a Section 8, but then it turns out you're not actually selling that good in a certain class, like you're not selling, luggage under Class 18. and you have to delete it, well, that's going to cost you $250 per class. So if you had luggage under 18 and clothing under class 25, and then it turns out you actually have to delete class 18 because you don't actually have proof of those goods, then it's going to cost you $250 per class. So again, this is a fee that's going to create an incentive for us to take care of business up front. Don't have to do it after the fact. So they want you to get the renewal right at the outset. They don't want you to have to go back and amend the post-renewal paperwork. Again, I think we're seeing a lot of these fees where they're really about efficiency and creating incentives that make and reduce the cost of examination. Now, the petition to the trademark director, if you're, for example, petitioning a procedural matter or trying to make a request as to why certain rules of the trademark office shouldn't be applicable in your particular circumstance, that fee is going up by 150. So now from 100, it's actually going up to 250. So $150 increase. Again, fairly significant, more than double. You're going to see a lot of these fees are double, if not more. So a big cost increase here. Now, again, these last couple that we've seen have been renewals and petitions. So these are petitions. So petition to revive. So let's say your trademark goes abandoned. If you file a petition to revive, it's going to cost you $50 more. So from 100 to 150. So again, take all this into account. If there's stuff that you're putting off to January, you should really address it now. It'll save you some money. Letters of protest. So if you're protesting an application that hasn't yet published, and you want to submit your letter and have the examiner consider it when they're doing their analysis, this is a new fee. It didn't used to cost anything, but now letters of protest cost $50. So again, they're trying to increase revenue. Anything that increases the time required for an examiner to examine an application, they're going to be charging more. Petitions to cancel are also going up. So TTAP proceedings used to cost $400. Starting January 2nd, TTAP proceedings, petitions to cancel, going up by $200, right? So that's a 50% increase. So from 400 to 600. So if you're going to be thinking about filing any petitions to cancel a registered mark, you should do it now. Do it before January 2nd so that you can still squeeze under the $400, save you $200. And similarly, notices of opposition. So if there is a mark that's in the publication period and you want to file an opposition to oppose registration of the mark for whatever reason, then again, you should do it before January 2nd because prices are also increasing by 50%. And extensions to oppose, they're also going up double from 100 to 200. So if you file a 90-day extension to oppose registration, so as you guys know, there's 6-month period. So you can request extensions for up to 6 months. So the 90-day extension is going to cost you $200 now instead of $100. Now, remember, the first month is still free, but then again, from month 2 to month 5, that's a 90-day extension. That's going to cost you $200 starting January 2nd. And then the final 60-day extension, so month 5, month 6, that's going up from 200 to 400. Again, doubling in costs. So again, fees all across the board are increasing starting January 2nd. You guys will need to take this into consideration if you're practitioners or if you're business owners that have a lot of marks. You want to take these into consideration because depending on the number of classes and the number of applications that are at issue, these costs could actually be significant. Ex parte appeals increasing by $25. So if you have to file a final refusal by an examiner, this fee is going up from $200 to $225. New fees. So if you have to file a request for an extension to file an appeal brief, it's $100 per application. So again, the first one's free, but then second and subsequent requests for extension to file appeal briefs, they're going up. It's a new, not going up, sorry, they're just a new fee. And it's $100 per application. That brings us up to another new fee, which appeal briefs. So appeal briefs now cost $200 to file. So very interesting. So they, again, used to be free. Now it's $200 just to submit the appeal brief. And we'll go moving on to another new fee, request for oral hearing, $500 per proceeding, used to be free. So very significant fee increases here all across the board. So I wanted to go over with you all the fee increases. It's going to be affecting a lot of practitioners, a lot of business owners. But again, if there's anything that you can do now the next week or two before the fees increase, you might want to consider doing it. Again, I understand that legal fees are high and that maybe these fees are insignificant to you, but if you're a business holder, if you have a lot of trademarks, you might want to consider streamlining filing now before January 2nd, just so that you can take advantage of these lower fees.